games you live for. These are the games that you come into football for, and it's going to be a great tie between two fantastic teams. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. But we've got another 3 games before that I need to focus on.
How's Wesley Fofana, and how have you been kind of dealing with that situation this week after you received that news after the game?
Yeah, it was a tough, obviously a tough day for Wes. Firstly, obviously what happened in the game. Secondly, the fallout and racist abuse that he got online. Wes he's a tough guy. He's a good guy. But it's amazing. You spoke about racism last week in the press conference, and it affects you in ways that it just shouldn't exist. It shouldn't exist, whether it's online, whether it's verbal, in person. It's just something that we have to try our very best to eradicate from life, let alone football. But Wes is absolutely fine. He's trained well this week.
Chelsea did record a pre-tax loss of £355 million for financial year 2024-2025. In terms of your job, though, is it going to affect anything in terms of having to sell players? Have you spoken to the club above about how these losses potentially affect your job, what you do?
Now, my job is to focus on the team, is to try and make the team and the squad as strong as possible to eventually win things. That's why I'm here. I will have those conversations with the ownership and the guys above me, but that's something that's not really at the forefront of my mind. I just want to make sure that on the pitch we're as successful as possible.
Some interesting comments from Mykhailo Mudryk yesterday from the PFA. He specifically mentioned Cole Palmer talking about player welfare. He said he'd been there in the summer and saw how tired the players were from the schedule that they sort of had to undertake, but especially Cole Palmer. Just wondered what you made of those comments, especially relating to Cole.
No, obviously you want not just Cole. Cole's a magnificent player. You want every player in football to be at their very best, to be at the top of their health, to be able to give the fans what they want to see. They do. They pay a lot of money to follow us, to watch us. But in terms of getting involved in that stuff, I think you speak about the Club World Cup, and it's been a difficult schedule for the players. But I don't think any of them regret that experience, which was an incredible experience for them and for the club. You want to find a balance. Do I have the answer to that? 100% not. So I understand it from both sides.
Finally, for me, there was some criticism after the previous Arsenal game in the Carabao Cup in terms of tactics. Does it almost suit you this time a bit better to actually use those tactics in this game? I just wondered what you how you go into this game approaching that.
No, I think for large spells of the game, you're always disappointed to lose out to one of your London rivals in a semi-final of a cup competition. I think there were availability issues. Not an excuse. It's a fact in both games. The first leg, I was here for 4 days. So we have to look at it with the right context. There was a really, really good structure about us without the ball. With the ball, maybe we could have been more front-footed in terms of going out to win the game. There was a clear idea that the players carried out very well. We didn't get the result that we wanted, and we want that to change on Sunday.
Thanks, Chris. Niv?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mykhailo Mudryk has been at Arsenal for just over 6 years. They had highs, they had lows. But in general, how impressive have you been with the support he's been receiving, and how important that stability, especially for young manager in such a big club?
I've been impressed with him. The support he's received is because probably day in, day out, they see the great work that he does, and they support the process with which he's worked to. They're an incredibly well-coached team in every aspect of the game, whether they can press really high, they're compact shape in a low blocks, they're fantastic defensively, obviously set plays, they're well coached, and they play very good football as well. They're an all-round very good team, and that's why they're in the situation they're in at the moment. It's my job and the players' job is to try and find that weakness and try to enjoy what's going to be a really, really big game on Sunday.
Your upcoming league games, Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, Everton, Man City, Man United. Most likely the most challenging period you had so far since you joined Chelsea in the league. And what's the mindset of going into this very difficult period and try to finish it with?
Firstly, is to take it game by game. I've had this conversation with you guys before. The Premier League is so difficult every week. The challenges that you face, the different tactical problems that you have, the physicality of the league. I don't judge one game as harder than the other. What happens against the higher teams in the league as they're more open because they want to attack more. There's different tactical things that you can work on. For me, I'm very happy with this group. I'm happy with the start that we've made. We've won 8 out of 12. It should be 10 out of 12. That's not bad. It's not bad foundation to start from. So we just need to stay confident and focused, but we have to just take each game as it comes.
Can I ask you specifically about 2 Arsenal players that scored against Spurs recently, Gyökeres and Chiesa? What do you think they've added to this version of Arsenal compared to previous years offensively?
Well, I worked with Victor. I worked with him with Brighton's under 23s. Saw him come through to the first team there. Victor adds a degree of physicality, of pace to stretch the game in behind. And I think he's starting to build his confidence, and he's shown he can score goals, which is what every striker wants to do. Eze, again, I've come across him many times. I remember watching him in the Championship then and thinking what an outstanding talent he is. They've got talented players throughout the pitch. They've got physicality throughout their team, and we know it's going to be a difficult game. What I would say is they also know it's going to be a very difficult game for them.
Thanks, Niv. Nizar?
Hi, just wanted to ask, it's going to be a very busy period again now. You've had sort of 2 weeks off, and obviously there's a difficult run of fixtures. I think the Opta supercomputer said that you had the most difficult run of fixtures of any Premier League team for the last 11 games. I was wondering how you might handle the challenge of all these big matches in multiple competitions.
I'd love to see what this supercomputer looks like. I don't think about it in that way. It's the next game. It's making sure that the players physically and mentally as fresh as possible. Giving them the time off wasn't just about one game, it was about the rest of the season. Hopefully that will pay off. They've looked very good in training this week. We've got players coming back from injury as well, which is really, really helpful. So we just need to stay really calm, really focused and consistent in our process and tick each game off as it comes.
And it's really tight in the sort of run, the competition for the Champions League places, the top 5, it will probably